Hey everyone, I'm Spencer Fan 1937, and today I'm reviewing Steven. So Steven was originally introduced as the Rocket in the special CGI movie called King of the Railway. Um, to be honest, I don't remember the full plot, but basically, he used to be, he was one of the first engines to be built and one of the first engines to work on Sodor. That's why he has this kind of old-fashioned mid 19th century steam locomotive appearance, because he was at some point one of the first engines and one of the grandest and fastest engines on Sodor. He has a generally kind attitude, and he's just a very positive character. Um, Usually, I prefer series like model series or railway series characters, but to be honest, the CGI series, although it kind of spelled the end of the original model series, gave us some good characters like Hero and obviously Steven. So let's just get down to the model. The first thing you know is Steven's very kind of like in your face yellow livery. It's kind of like a mustard yellow. Unlike Molly's yellow, as you see here, hers is more like a bright, vibrant yellow, while Stevens is more of like a tamed mustard yellow, which I think goes pretty well with not only the character in the movie King of the Railway, but also just his old-fashioned appearance. Um, so if you look on the side here, he has three wheels, two of which are just the standard wheels, and one of which is the very large wheels that usually go with engines like Molly or Flying Scotsman. And here, obviously, it's pretty much just the same wheel as you see there. The two other wheels are the same, just like Molly's tender, as you see there. Um, they're on the side here. You could see it says Rockets. The smoke box is plastic, but the boiler is wood. The two brown domes you see on top there are also plastic, and the main part here, where all the gears are turning and where presumably the driver is supposed to be, is actually also plastic. On the back here, which is supposed to act as kind of his tender slash, I don't know, I guess you could call it like it's not really a coal box, it's more like a cab in a way. You see kind of this seal, which wasn't originally on him, but basically there's also this barrel where the driver and fireman sit on. It's also made of plastic. On the back of this wooden cab, there's no details. It's just made of wood. Same mustard yellow pattern. On the front, you could notice more objectively the gold plastic funnel, which resembles a crown, and you could also see his face, which I think they did a pretty good job on. The buffers are also represented pretty well, which, as you could see with all of the engines behind me, including Stanley, there wasn't much buffer representation, so that's kind of a nice detail. I'm repeating on the back, obviously. Um, if you look under, it says just says Steven. Uh, wooden bogey, round magnets. This one's my model's a little bit dated though. Very nice. You could see there the seal of the Earl of Sodor. Um, so the story goes that Steven was originally, just like pretty much every other old engine, was abandoned by the original railway, and he was restored by the Earl, and now he works on the Earl's Railway. So that's why he has this whole restored paint job, and that's why he has kind of the crown funnel, because there's actually a different model of him. It's like damaged, his paint's chipped, it's all browned, his funnel's crooked. So this is supposed to be the restored Earl Steven. So otherwise known as obviously the Rocket, as I mentioned before, because presumably he was at one point one of the fastest engines on Sodor. Um, One thing I will say about this model is that it's just obviously very unique, but that comes with, just Steven's basis and his character. Another thing to say about it is the large use of plastic. And the reason I mention that is because this was designed in a time when wood was kind of being phased out in favor for more plastic. And obviously, when you're making business decisions, obviously you're going to go with the cheaper material. But a lot of people do miss you know, the priority of wood over plastic, um, even in characters like Steven. But I suppose it was inevitable, as eventually, obviously, Thomas Wood became a thing, and well, that was kind of too much wood in a way. So maybe it was a fine balance for the time, for 2013 or 2012. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2013 when the movie was released. Um, but yeah, so Steven can be used in different scenarios. Obviously, he's old, so he can't like pulling around the express, but he can do small goods trains and stuff like that. And his model is just unique. I mean, if you ignore the large use of plastic, which I know a lot of people just don't like, um, it is just a very cool model. It's just, the color's really unique. Just connected to Edward there. Uh, just the way he's shaped is weird. You could kind of like, I use Lego figures in my series or whatever, so maybe you could try and sit one down. This is gonna fail epically, but I'm still gonna try it. Oh, that turned out so bad. But yeah, there we go. There's the fail. There we go. Free at last. But anyways, there's Steven. So yeah, obviously not the coolest model to have, not a necessity since he doesn't even work on the Northwestern Railway, but still very unique, very cool model in my opinion. And I would, if you already have a relative abundance of items and you want to get them, I would definitely recommend. One thing I will say though is that I did not find him for cheap. Uh, he's somewhat of a rare item these days, and it took me a while to find him, and it wasn't exactly for a good price. I mean, it was a fine price, I guess, but it would definitely cost a pretty penny or two, or more than I was expecting. So just keep that in mind. Not that this item's that important, or not that this may even be a priority, but just something for you to keep in mind when looking for this item. Not the rarest item, but also not the cheapest. So, um, if you're a parent or whatever, I would start off with something more simple like Stanley back there. Anyways, if you enjoyed this review, please consider giving it a like. It really helps me out in the long term. And if you want, you could check out my other videos, and if you like those too, you could subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a good day.